Hello. Today I will express some additional things that I consider are invented problems, and this is probably not going to be the last round that comes to mind, but I thought that I would make a record of it nonetheless. You know what's something that occurred to me? Our job market, the whole aspect of getting fired, that's an invented problem, because I'm not going to sit here and defend a bad worker. If you are a bad worker, if you just break a rule knowingly, or you underperform, or you have terrible attendance and that's what warranted your firing, then it is what it is. But ultimately, with getting fired, when that happens, to me, that is still an example of a created problem, because we shouldn't be worrying about how, if you lose your job for any reason, whether it be a genuine mistake or it was something that caught up to you, now your life is ruined because you depended on that income. I think that the whole having a job and getting fired is one of those things that could be considered an invented problem. Did we have employment back in the days, as olden the days as they can get, in which you could just be let go of and no one would have any regard for you? On that same note, we could also talk about things like layoffs. Sometimes you see them coming, sometimes you don't. But again, losing your employment, that's just wrecking your shit on modern levels. While on the note of making mistakes, imagine that you are driving and you get in a wreck, and let's say that that wreck is actually your fault, and let's say that someone dies. Boom, you got charged with involuntary manslaughter. How is that okay? How is that just reasonable? Like, I get it, someone died, you made a bad turn, you ran the red light, you were speeding, whatever, someone died. But accidents sometimes just happen. If I was someone who caused an accident and I was abiding by all the rules and just shit happened, but somebody ends up dying because I got in a wreck, is it possible for me to fight that and be defended to where I'm found not guilty of that shit? Just because I was involved in that wreck, and let's say that it wasn't my fault, but someone still ends up dying, there's still someone out there who I'm assuming is going to end up being charged. Like, I don't think that we can bring the person who died to court, even if, let's say that we have a wreck and that person who caused the wreck ends up dying. What about me? What about the damages that I have? Am I going to be able to rely on this person's insurance to get back to me? What if this person didn't have insurance? Then what happens? To me, that just really sounds like an invented problem. This is another thing that's one of my favorites, but it actually is relevant to me considering that I'm someone who never carries cash. But payment terminals going down. I shared a little bit of my story the other day about something that I experienced while I was at work, where our registers just went offline. And can you imagine that? You have like this shopping that you put together, you're getting ready to pay, but boom, either on our end it's failing, or on your end your bank is tripping, or your card simply got blocked for some reason, or you're trying to do Apple Pay but your card doesn't work, something like that. And you're telling me that as susceptible to outages and online problems as we are, I'm supposed to be excited about crypto? Is crypto going to rely on the internet? Can I use my phone offline to access my money? Because if we're gonna need universal internet for this, then there better be free Wi-Fi hotspots pretty much covering the entire globe. Because I don't think it's acceptable for you to be forcing people to rely on these pieces of shit, because these pieces of shit go down very often, and you're trying to tell me that I need to entrust my money to this piece of shit? Damn. Easy to lose, easy to shatter, so delicate and so fragile, and you're telling me that my finances need to be secured by this thing? Fuck that. And then what about in the event of a storm? Do we not believe in catastrophes anymore? What about earthquakes? What about hurricanes? What about floods? Like, this is real shit that happens. And you're trying to get me excited about all of society just running on one form of payment. To me, that almost sounds like we're forgetting that natural disasters that disrupt this type of thing are a thing. So I really hope that they have a solution for that before this launches, because if this is going to be the way of things, then I only see more things that can potentially go wrong more than anything else. I just know how often internet outages take place, and the idea of my money being tied to that doesn't wilden me up. That will be the true invented problem. And they're probably gonna come out and say, well, just with everything, when something launches for the first time, there's going to be problems, yada yada. Money. We are talking about my resources. We're talking about the way I conduct my life, because it's the way that society rolls. You're gonna give me some kind of a pass for situations. You're not gonna penalize me for situations. I just don't trust you. Another thing I consider a created problem is speech etiquette. Like the way that you gotta express yourself, the ways that are preferred, methods for writing and stuff. I get it. Most of it is supposed to be so that you make yourself understood and so that you can be clear and easy to follow. But there's also a part of me that the more the times change, I keep seeing things about what you should say instead of this that we may be used to saying. I just think it's stupid. What's the point of making me go through school if in the end this is going to continuously change and not all of us are going to receive the message at the same time that something has changed and may be deemed as offensive? Those were the additional invented problems that came to mind. Let me know your thoughts, and if you have any more of your own, be sure to share. And if I find a lot of compelling ones, I may consider borrowing the ones that you submit and creating yet another follow-up video. That would be fun. A video created by the community. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.